Welcome to Resting Binge Face, where two friends watch seasons of TV shows and we talk about it. I'm Adam McCoy.
And I'm Amanda Kathleen. Adam and I work in television, watch television, eat, sleep, breathe television. And so we decided to make a podcast to talk about binging television.
We thought more people should experience our conversations than just us.
This week, we are binging The Bodyguard. And
Nope.
No. Oh, just Bodyguard.
Just Bodyguard.
On Netflix. So, Bodyguard, Adam, why don't you drop some knowledge on us?
So, Bodyguard, this is a 6-episode drama/political thriller series. It was originally created for the BBC by Jed Mercurio. After it aired on BBC, it became the highest-rated new show in the BBC in 10 years. So very popular over there.
In 10 years, it's been the most popular?
For 10 years, it's the most popular show they've had in 10 years.
But what about Sherlock?
Apparently not as much as Bodyguard.
So the Bodyguard beat Sherlock?
Can't get enough of Robb Stark, apparently.
I mean, I can't get enough of Robb Stark. I just want to say, on Game of Thrones, he was my first love. When I was watching it, I was like...
Don't get too attached to Robb Stark. Ooh.
I was like, I can't get enough of this Robb Stark character. And then...
He's going to be the hero of the show. I know. I can feel it all the way through.
I mean, I liked Jon Snow, obviously. He has, like, that come hither, like, silent, bad boy.
Brooding eyes.
And, like, the Robb Stark's obviously, the
can
captain of the football
Yes.
team, you know. I liked them both equally, but my heart was Robb Stark.
Well, your heart was broken.
It was broken hard. It was stabbed multiple times and beheaded.
Along with other people.
Oh, spoiler for Game of
Yeah,
Thrones.
sorry. Post-spoiler alert there.
AKA, if you don't watch Game of Thrones, his real name is Richard Madden.
And he is the star of this.
And he is the star of Bodyguard, yes.
So it originally aired on the BBC, and then Netflix acquired rights to air it outside of the UK and Ireland.
Oh.
It was actually commissioned in 2016, but with production companies being bought and sold, it wasn't actually produced until 2017, end of 2017, and then released in 2018.
So when did it air on the BBC?
It aired August 26th, 2018 is its first air date.
Oh, so it aired
Pretty
on
close.
the BBC and then Netflix.
Then Netflix, yes. The BBC aired it first, then Netflix acquired the rights for it. And it's just been announced that there's probably going to be a season 2 because of how successful it was in the BBC and on Netflix. Even though the show was never intended to be more than one season. It was intended to just be one season, starts, concludes.
I feel like there's a lot of shows that are like that are like, this is just a one-off series, and it's so popular that networks are just like, you need to make more.
And then by the
like,
third season, it's horrible because they never intended it to go longer than a season.
I feel like...
Lost. Season 3 was horrible. And that's about it for the history of the show. It was conceived, produced, and then we watched it.
Adam is done dropping knowledge on everyone right now. So we will have spoilers in this episode. So if you haven't seen it and you want to watch it, please watch it before you listen to the rest.
We will announce spoiler alert before the...
But if you want to be adventurous and brave, you go right ahead and listen and be spoiled. So that leads us into the show, Bodyguard. What did you think about it?
I really enjoyed the show.
Right?
I did. If I had to describe it, it would be this way. If Alfred Hitchcock could have a baby with a fictional character, Jason Bourne, you would get Bodyguard.
I get it.
It's got some very good action scenes and intense. It's espionage, but also the slow...
It's like suspenseful. Right, you don't know what's going on.
What's going to happen. And it's slow, but not in a boring way. It's very drawn out.
Yes.
And you're waiting on the edge of your seat the entire time.
See, I was going to say it's The Bodyguard, the movie, meets Fugitive.
Okay.
So it's got the...
I can see that as well.
If Kevin Costner was on the run.
There we go. Kevin Costner on the run.
But I felt like the whole series was great. Like, I liked from the very first episode to the pilot, and I don't usually like a lot of pilots, all the way to the last episode.
Yes, it was very layered, and it wasn't like it had a low point where like, this episode's kind of dragging a little bit. The whole entire stretch of the show.
No, it's pretty much, it's like, it's waving the story, and you're interested, and you're watching it.
And there's a lot of facets to the show, so you don't really know what's going on. You think you have something figured out. And then some other element will pop up, and you're like, oh, didn't see that coming.
No, you don't see it coming.
Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that.
Which I respect them for doing that, because you think it's going to go one way, and you're like, for sure it's going to go one way.
And you get cocky, and you're like, oh, I know how it's going to
I know how
end.
this is going to end.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't. I think the first episode, the whole thing reminds me of Mindhunter, like David Fincher style, Seven, that whole mysterious, like...
Constantly what's going on, what's really going to happen here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I enjoy.
It's nice to have a show that you have to think about a little bit the entire time.
You have to pay attention to it.
You can't just check out.
You can't just like be on your phone the whole time and like kind of pay attention to it. Like you have to actually be in it.
Or you're
gonna be like, wait, what's happening? I can't check my Facebook and watch at the same time.
Oh man, I can't multitask.
I have to actually watch it. Who is that? Madison, your daughter.
Oh yeah, she can't sit and watch anything. She has to be doing something else.
These kids
time.
These days.
Can't commit.
I also like the idea of the counterbalancing of like when you go to war and like there's both sides. You have the soldiers coming home and trying to deal with things as opposed to the terrorist also.
Dealing with things.
So
you're seeing why maybe the terrorist is doing this. And
right.
What's going on this side of it. Yeah. Both sides of the story.
Both sides. And they're kind of it's kind of like the same thing.
It's a mirrored image. Slightly altered mirror image.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that. Is there anything else you want to add?
Should we give a synopsis of the basic overview of the show?
Oh yeah, we should probably do that. All right, we're going to do spoilers now. We're done doing fluffy stuff for you guys who don't want to watch the show. Spoilers.
So if you haven't seen the show yet, I highly recommend it.
Yes.
Go watch the show.
Go binge those 6 episodes. Granted, they are like 6. An hour and a half episodes. They are long.
They're around 58 minutes. Not the normal.
Are they really? It feels like it's an hour and a half for episode.
Normally, an hour-long show will be, it's 42 minutes, 48 minutes on Netflix. No, it's right up there with an hour.
No, it feels like it. Yes. It feels like watching 6 movies.
So watch the show. If you've already seen it, we'll talk about it now.
Stay around.
Stick around. Richard Madden, Robb Stark from Game of Thrones, plays Sergeant David Budd, an Afghanistan...
P.S. Budd.
P.S. Budd, an Afghanistan war veteran, and now he has a job in Protection Command as a bodyguard for whoever he's assigned to, and he gets assigned to the Home Secretary, Julia Montague, played by Kelly Hawes.
I think Hawes.
Hawes.
Hawes. He just calls him Mum.
Can I say that drove me crazy the entire time?
I don't understand if they're saying ma'am. I'm sure they're saying ma'am in a mum, right?
I think they're saying mum.
But like, they call their mom's mum.
Yes, and that's why it bothered me the entire time.
We need a British person in here to
the one vent
explain.
I have about the show. The only thing I can complain about was that.
Mum.
Yes, mum.
Yes, mum.
Mum. Like, no. Don't.
It gets even creepier, like because, spoiler, they have sex.
They hook up.
Okay, I just want to say, though, like, P.S. Bud's wife is a see you next Tuesday. Can I just say that in the beginning, like, the beginning half of the episode?
Hold on. You don't know what he's done.
I get it, but, like, he's just trying to be a good guy.
I agree.
Like, she was just, like, riding his jock the entire time. I'm like...
You're also seeing the movie from his perspective, not from her perspective.
True. So we should be on his side.
We should. So maybe the whole point of it was to make her look like
I was like, she is such a bitch. I was like,
you have Robb Stark coming to your house and you're treating him that way?
I'm just saying. You could be a little nicer.
How dare you?
Like, he's just like, hey, I'm calling to say hi. He's like, what, you drunk already? And he's like, what? I'm just saying hi. Jeez.
It's a layered relationship.
So they're separated.
Separated, he has 2 children.
Right. So him and the Home Secretary go through this terrorist attack where one of his buddies that he went to war with is like gonna kill the Home Secretary because she's definitely for war, and they're like, you don't know what war does, and he's like shooting from the top of the rooftop,
trying to stop her.
So they go through this like traumatic event together. And the only response is sex, obviously.
Endorphins are raised. That's what happens, apparently.
So after the terrorist attack, they have to put them in a hotel room. So that way they're secured. They're adjoining rooms. And that's when the sex happens, is the adjoining rooms. And I'm like, there's guards outside. You don't think that they can hear everything that's going on.
Soundproof rooms.
I'm like, they know what's happening, right? I'm like, come on.
Well, it doesn't last long.
They are getting it on. It doesn't last long because
By the
another terrorist attack, and it
third
does the
season,
job.
Does the job.
Julia Montague is now dead.
We warned you, spoiler alerts.
Yeah, man. Spoiler.
Three episodes in.
3 episodes in, which I kind of like. They're like, she's not going to die. And then like, psych, she died. And then P.S. Bud is very sad. He has to figure out why.
He goes through Madam Secretary withdrawal.
He's like, I have to avenge her. I don't do a very good accent.
You don't know. But yeah, the rest of the series is him trying to
figure out like what happened.
As he's
was it a terrorist attack?
Was it an inside job?
Was it an inside job?
If it was an inside job, who was it?
So they do this really good job of pitting the police department against the Homeland Security Department. They're like one wants to be better than the other. Right, they both want power. So you think that it's either one or the other, or maybe they're doing it together. You don't know the entire time. And then at the end, it turns out it's not even either of them.
We were all fooled.
It was some crime boss that hated the Home Secretary because if this bill that went through that they could go in and check anyone's
monitor phones, monitor activity.
Yeah,
they could
anyone's
check up
activity
on
or whatever, that they were they couldn't do crime anymore.
The mob bosses, they're always at the center.
And I'm like, way to go! Throw me for a loop, man. I for sure thought it was the home security. That ADT,
Brinks.
Man.
It was Brinks the entire time.
I for sure thought it was.
Oh yeah, I was fooled a few times.
Like the upper, the prime minister was in on it. I was like, for sure. No, it was the crime bosses. And then P.S. Bud's boss at the police department. She was taking that money from the crime boss.
It's all about the payola, man.
Threw P.S. Bud in, trying to ruin his reputation. I do really like that they tie the first episode in with the last episode. How in the very first episode he has to defuse a terrorist situation. He's on a train with his 2 children, and there is a woman with a bomb
strapped to her chest. Suicide bomb,
and he's defusing the whole situation. And then at the last episode, he's the one with the vest. So the crime boss has put him in
to frame him.
Him.
How the tables have turned.
Vest. Yes. And so the entire time he's trying to diffuse that situation.
Yeah.
By still trying to be alive.
Full circle.
And I will say by the last episode, I do like his wife better.
She warms up. She starts to grow on you.
Because I think it's the second episode he tries to kill himself.
Yes.
And it
second
doesn't.
Or third,
second or third.
It was after.
After the first terror attack where he.
No, it was after she dies.
No. He tries to kill himself before. Oh no, you're right. It's right after.
That's why he tries. He failed.
After he tries to kill himself and fails, she's much warmer to him.
Yeah, she's like, oh, he has some issues that are real.
Maybe I should be nicer.
Come and see the kids. We'll have some pizza. It'll be great.
I'm like, okay, I'm warm up to you. But I will say what I don't like they do such a good job. It is such a good show. Overall, it's really good. At the very end, when he's trying to figure out who set a bomb to his kid's school to blow up his kids, basically.
Yes.
They know that he was the one that stopped the terror attack on the train in the first episode. So they were going to blow up. They were going to obviously get him back for it. That it was the woman on the train. The woman that was strapped to the vest.
You didn't like that the whole time?
I didn't like that at all. I was just like, first of all, in the first episode, she's
spoiler alert again, by the way.
She's a scared mouse.
It's all an act. That's the whole point. She's
but she could have just blew up the train then. If she really didn't give a crap.
You have a point.
She could have just been like, haha, sucker, and blow up the whole train. Obviously there was something in her. There's something in her that changed her mind that she didn't want to do it.
Masterminds have second thoughts.
No, she was this badass at the end. She's like, I knew the whole time.
I do feel like that was kind of thrown in.
Yeah, it didn't really need to be there. It was such a good job that it could have been anybody else that tried to blow up his kids. Because everybody knew about it. Everyone in the inner circle knew who he was and who, he was the one that stopped the train. It could have been the crime bosses, really.
Or perhaps her husband was supposed to be the suicide bomber. He chickened out.
Right.
And she's like, fine, I'll do it. And she never intended on doing it in the first place. And she's like, I don't want to die. I got too many big plans to kill these people. I got to live and operate from the inside.
I don't like it. I think that was a cop out. Like it's a fantastic show, and then that how it ends, and I'm like, ugh. Any pet peeves from you, Adam?
Pet peeves. Well, besides the mum, that part did drive me crazy.
Mum.
There was one other part. This is so stupid and nitpicky of me. There's a encrypted device that has all the secrets and things on it.
Right.
That she has, and they spend the entire series looking for this. He finally gets it. He's driving back. Can't remember where he's going now. It's in a plastic bag, and he has it set in the seat next to him, so you can see it for the camera.
Right.
But you would never put it there. You hit the brake, it's going to hit the ground, and it would break. It was so stupid. I saw that, I'm like, why would they do that?
What? He would also hide it, too,
Yeah,
because you don't want anybody, like, driving by.
Put it in the thing next to your door, the little
right.
side slot in your door.
They could have just had a shot of him putting it into the glove box.
Or his jacket.
Anywhere.
But on a slick plastic bag.
It's like right there.
On the seat next to him. Having many bags that have fallen off the seat driving into work every morning. Let's not do that with this priceless bit of
I think there's
espionage.
Like so many elements of this show. Like I can't explain. Everything's woven together, and it does a very good job.
It's very tight.
Yes, I can't explain like everything.
There's not a lot of wasted plot points.
No.
Or moments.
If you haven't watched it and you made it this far, watch it.
So do you want to talk about maybe a favorite episode?
I like basically all of them. I like all of them. Like the only ones I didn't like maybe was like 2 and 3, like the filler ones. Like
you mean the one where she died?
No, the one after she died.
Okay. I think I have to say that my favorite episode was the first episode.
I know,
the
right?
train scene,
it was like right on.
The whole train scene, I was hooked from there.
Right.
And so I'm like, all right, I want to be in this. Guess I got to keep watching it. I really think that was my favorite episode.
Yeah.
Just because it kind of set the tone of the show, and it really pulled me in. I liked a lot of the elements of the rest of the season, but probably the first episode is my favorite.
It's a great pilot.
It is one of the better pilots that I've seen.
Yes. Do you want to tell the people out there watching that if they're watching as a couple and you decide to watch more than the other one?
I will take it from here. If you are a couple watching the show and one of you happens to fall asleep towards 45 minutes into the third episode, and then your significant other continues to watch the next few episodes, the next day, don't blurt out that the woman he's trying to protect is killed. Because I was told that. And then it became, well, maybe she wasn't. I could. So that's kind of a big spoiler.
Well, that wouldn't happen because she dies. I mean,
yes,
maybe not.
I was like, oh, this is interesting. Could it be this? No, because she's dead. What? Yeah. So don't Netflix cheat on your significant other.
If you're going to Netflix cheat, just, don't
cheat and
say
tell.
it.
Just keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, pretend that you haven't
every
seen
other
it.
cheater on the face of the earth. Just keep it to yourself. And your friends also, obviously.
Yes. But it's even more when it's your partner or your spouse. When you're like, come on, really?
Like, she's like, I thought you were up still. Like, clearly I was snoring next to you. Yeah. I was not.
I was out. And it still didn't ruin the show because it literally was only the third episode. So there's still a lot going on after that.
Yes.
It ruined 15 minutes for me. Other than that, I would have found out. But I just don't recommend doing it.
Don't do that. Bingeability.
Bingeability. I give this one a 4.25.
Why'd you give it a 4.25?
Because I fell asleep with the third episode.
But that's not fair because you're an old man.
I know.
And you fall asleep.
Then I get 4 hours sleep a night. Just because I'm not going to say it's a 5.
I'm going to say it's a 5.
Well,
I had to stop myself from
well, you stopped yourself. You didn't keep going.
No, but I had to stop myself because I would have just kept watching it and wouldn't have gone to sleep.
And then you wouldn't have paid attention.
Because it was during the week where I have, work.
Mm-hmm. Stupid work.
So I can't binge it all night. I didn't watch it on the weekend. I could have.
You've convinced me. I'm changing it to a 4.5.
Oh, okay.
I need a 0.5% leeway room to
you could just give them a 5, Adam.
What if something comes out and they make another series that blows my mind and I can't go any higher than Bodyguard?
Oh, Jesus. You could just go 5.5. It's okay.
Nope. It's a scale of 1 to 5.
Okay, whatever.
Can't rewrite the rules.
All right.
They're already written.
Did you have a question for me?
I did. Putting Amanda on the spot. So
Put Amanda on the spot.
Since the main character is most well known for Game of Thrones, and it's about bodyguards, I would ask you,
yes,
if you were in one of the realms of Game of Thrones,
ooh,
your top 3 bodyguards. Who would you want to protect you on Game of Thrones?
Well, it's not going to be Robb Stark because, like,
Obviously.
he can't even protect his
Or his wife.
baby mama.
Now, granted, this is from the TV show, not the books, because there are some differences.
Right, and Amanda doesn't read.
At all.
I read okay.
I read good.
I read things. So I would say, obviously, number 1 is Jon Snow.
Okay.
Because he has never died. Although, well, no, because his girl, I don't remember her name. Ingrid. But he really wasn't protecting her. Like,
Yes.
Ingrid was, like, trying to kill him. So
that's a solid pick.
So I would say Jon Snow, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I would say Daenerys. Like, she hasn't died yet.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, yeah, people have died around her. So maybe that's not a good choice. But she hasn't
Maybe
died.
one of Daenerys' dragons. That would be a good choice. But they're not a person.
They're not a person, and also, like, people can fly them away. So, or they just fly away themselves. They're very finicky, those dragons. They just do whatever the fuck they want to do.
I like chihuahuas. You never know what they're going to do.
Like chihuahuas.
All right, third
On
pick.
a scale of giant to, like, mouse.
Personality-wise, dragons are just like the
They're
chihuahuas of the mythical creatures.
Okay.
Everyone knows that, Amanda. Come on.
Oh, jeez.
Third pick.
Third pick. Okay. Third pick. Who would I pick? I would say Hodor. He did a very good job.
Oh, we have none of the same.
He did such a good job.
He did.
Holding that door.
And it makes your heart break.
He was like the protector of protectors, man.
Was.
He can carry me anywhere, all right?
Those are solid picks.
R.I.P. Hodor. All right, what are your picks?
My first one would be Arya.
Arya, that's a solid choice.
She can get shit done.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff done.
She's going to, like, protect you to the end.
My second one, my last 2 are very unconventional.
Okay.
But I would pick Varys.
Varys.
Because he knows how. And he knows
how to hide you in a box.
Yes.
And put you on a ship.
He has everybody, all the little birds telling him what's going on.
All
so he'll know if
birds.
somebody's coming to kill you.
That's a good one.
Right? And then the third choice, if I could pick, and I get to control this, the Night King. Because who else is better to protect you than the Night King?
I feel like he wouldn't give a crap about you.
He wouldn't, but I'm saying if one of these people could be my bodyguard.
The Night King with or without Ice Dragon?
Well, with. Why would you? That's a stupid question, of course.
But the dragon can just fly off anywhere and then he leaves you.
Would you want him with a gun or without a gun?
There's no guns in Westeros, okay?
Well, I admit mine are unconventional, but the Night King.
I would say Arya's top notch.
Arya would be or her mentor, the Faceless Man.
The Faceless Man.
Yes.
We don't remember his name.
But neither of us picked the Hound.
We didn't pick the Hound. He did a pretty good job. Yeah. I would pick Brienne.
Brienne.
Brienne would be a solid choice.
Yeah.
She's pretty
I still
good.
think Arya could whoop Brienne.
I mean, obviously, Arya can,
That's it for Stump Amanda.
I would say your choices are pretty good, but I think mine are a solid 3.
Yours is, yes, I don't think there's anything wrong with either of them.
Okay, we're done talking about Game of Thrones because we could talk about this all day.
Yeah, let's go back to the actual...
Which is why I was excited to watch this show.
Series Bodyguard.
Robb Stark. Okay, now it's time for Snack Attack.
Snack Attack. What were you eating while you were binging Bodyguard? I'll tell you what I was eating.
What were you eating?
I was eating Maltesers.
Oh, geez.
Have you ever heard of Maltesers?
Yes, I have. They're like Whoppers, right?
They're like Whoppers from over the pond, just like the show Bodyguard.
So that was the only thing you were eating?
I was eating a lot of stuff. But
What else would you eat with Bodyguard?
popcorn.
Yes, that's my choice, popcorn, because it's a drama. You snack on popcorn, and you're like, what's going to happen next? Crunch, crunch, crunch. So I made a list of snacks that people should buy to enjoy Bodyguard,
Okay.
all in the British theme. So you can purchase all of these snacks on Amazon. If you choose to throw a British Bodyguard party, binge-a-thon, what have you. So there are Walkers, which are, the label looks like Lay's, obviously. They're
Okay.
just crisps, as they would say. Hobnobs, which are oatmeal type cookies, kind of. I read they're similar to oatmeal cookies. So they don't call cookies cookies.
Biscuits.
They call them biscuits, which I think is not the same.
Southern biscuits.
Obviously, I think of like biscuits and gravy, but they're not biscuits.
They're cookies.
They're freaking cookies,
Yeah.
okay? Jaffa Cakes.
Jaffa Cakes, the classic.
Is like a soft cookie.
Mm-hmm.
It's
With
got
filling.
chocolate on the side. Is it like a
Some
sandwich?
of them have filling. Yeah, some of them have filling,
I think they have like jelly and stuff in them. So you can order some Jaffa Cakes with some tea.
Yes.
Get your cup of tea. Hula hoops, which are like bugles, but in the shape of a
Hula hoops.
Hoop.
Gotcha.
So you can get all your classic British snacks.
Aptly named.
Aptly named. I don't know why they name them that, but sure. I mean, but like, who names Funyuns? So
They're fun and they're onions. They're Funyuns.
okay.
They're fun onions.
What do you think of the hula hoops?
They look like a hula.
They're hula and they hoop. They're hula hoops.
The marketing department was very lazy that day.
So Adam, why don't you tell us what we're gonna binge next week?
Next week, we'll be binging The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
I am so excited.
Not the 90s series.
No, not the 90s
This
series.
is the darker, more serious
It
Sabrina.
says it in the title. It's
Yes.
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I am a Riverdale fan. Adam is not a fan.
I like the Archie comics.
He has never seen Riverdale.
Nope.
I really want to see what he thinks of Sabrina.
I'm looking forward to it.
You are not looking forward to it.
Is
at
Robb
all.
Stark in this?
No, unfortunately, Robb Stark is not in it.
Could have cast Arya, though.
You could have cast Arya. She could be a
exchange
badass
student.
Sabrina. I could see her being a badass Sabrina.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited. We're gonna binge the whole part 1 season
And
the Christmas special that just came out.
because nothing says Christmas like Satan worshipers.
I don't know about you when I think about Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Santa is Satan.
Santa's just Satan with the letters jumbled up.
Oh, goodness. I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in this week to Resting Binge Face. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we will see you, bingers, next week.
Bye.
Bye.